Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another XR Talk Show. Today is June 25th, and we're gonna code. We're gonna do a live coding of creating a interactive CSS radial gradient generator. So let me show you what it is. Let's begin. Let's see. So I'm live. That's good. Let me move the browser to the position so you can see. And let's start XR log, command log. So you can see all my Emacs command on the left panel. Okay, right there. If you are a Emacs user, and I'm using XR keys and I'm using Vorak keyboard layout. So the keys on the left are actually Vorak keys. So we are going to do a live coding. So let me show you what we're gonna do. So let's go to XR CSS, okay, cascading style sheet. So Visual CSS. This is my CSS tutorial, and it's like a visual dictionary. And you can see we have linear gradient. Now CSS provides you with these fancy features. You can create all sort of gradient, color gradient, and we're gonna. So let me gonna show you what it is. So you see I wrote a interactive script here, rainbow, random color, and you can see random direction. You can adjust the direction. So what it does is that it generates these random color gradient for you, and the random color, and then the code is shown up here, and you can copy it. Let's see I copy it. So copy it and create a new file. Let's save it as let's save a random name HTML, and let's say create a HTML file, and let's put a div tag, and let's say something. Okay, actually let's say div with a okay, then we put a style here, CSS style, and style div.x. Oops, div dot what div. Oh, there's div. Sorry, div.x, and the style will be what we just copied. So put the style here and show in browser. Oh, it should be background. So background linear gradient. XR CSS mod. So background color colon linear gradient. That's right. Oh, there's the wait. Okay, and show in browser. Not working because show. Okay, div.x. Wait. Background color linear gradient class X, div class X. Why is it not working? Let's try to add a border solid thin gray and show again. Okay, we got a border, and let's say font size, okay, 2 rem, big. That's good, that's working. And but Why is the background color not working? How is it done? So let's go back to look at the linear gradient example. Dive background, oh, not background color, but just background. Okay, go to browser, show, there it is. So this is why this linear this generator, gradient generator, is useful. Let's see random. Okay, let's try this one. Copy it, go here, paste it, remove that, show in browser. You see? Okay, so that's linear gradient. Now let's go to back to CSS, and we also have radial gradient. So CSS allows you to have gradient radial. Radial means, you know, it's like a circle. They ripple out. And what we are going to do is we are going to create a interactive application for this radial gradient, just like the linear gradient. So good morning, everyone. Say hi here and post your questions, opinions, anything. Okay, so let's start to do the radial gradient now. Okay, now this temp file we don't need anymore. Delete it. Now let's go to my CSS web dev blog. Let's open the radial gradient file. So this is the file. Let's copy the path and show in Google Chrome. Okay, now that's what we're gonna work on. Update the date. You see the date 2018 April 4th. Now it's 2019 June 25th. And we're gonna start by, first of all, whenever you do a interactive application, what do you need to know? Well, in our case, what we need to know is what are the parameters we need to change. Basically, we are going to generate this code like this, radial gradient, you know. So so first thing to find out is what are the parameters. We need to create user input that generates these parameters. So what are the parameters? So we have center, you know, where is the location the radial gradient start. So we have center, we have at the corner, left top corner. Okay, that's a position. Then obviously we have the colors are the parameters. So color, position of the center. Then we have elliptical radial. So we have elliptical radial versus circular radial. And then there is also the color stops, meaning that how much of a color you want the gradient to occupy for each color. So these are the parameters. The length of the color stops is actually a bit more complicated to code. So I think we're gonna skip that. So we just gonna code a basic one. So I think this will take 20 to 30 minutes. I hope we can finish it in 30 minutes. Okay, so first of all, so we know the parameters we want. So first of all, create a JavaScript file. Okay, so I copy the file path, change it to JavaScript. Now, should we do JavaScript or TypeScript? If you use TypeScript, then you can learn something about TypeScript. But there's a slightly more code because you have to add types. So if you like to see TypeScript, let me know. Okay, post in comment. Otherwise, let's just start with JavaScript. So we have created the path for JavaScript file. Then we make it into a link. You can see if you are Emacs user, you can see my commands, Emacs commands on the left. You can find those commands on my website. So we have a JavaScript file and open it. It's empty. Create new. Yes. Okay, it's an empty file. So we create a JavaScript file. Now, okay, so in the JavaScript file, let's open it and let's put a date and let's say the parameters. Let's write things out. Bunch of colors. Then we have position of center, which is center, top, center, and four corners. So we have color, we have the center, and we have let's create shape, circle or ellipse. Okay, so parameters are colors, bunch of colors, then position of center or four corners, and the shape is circle or ellipse. So we now the next thing, the first thing is determine the parameters. Second thing, step 2, create user interface to enter the parameters. Okay, so create user interface. So we need let's see, it's useful to look at our radial gradient script. So let's go back to CSS linear gradient. Yeah, let's look at so the color, each one of the color is a color wheel. It lets you pick a different color. You see color, then let's say this one you want to be green, you see, then let's say this one, that lets you pick a color. That's color wheel. Okay, and let's stop that. So we want to create a bunch of color wheels. Then, yeah, I think we're gonna pretty much follow this, follow this user interface. And number of colors, you can specify number of colors 2. Then it only uses the first 2 numbers. So if you can increase that to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can increase up to 7. So that's a good choice. And then for the linear gradient we have the direction, but however for radial gradient you don't have that. Instead of, you have the center of the radial. So you have the four corners or the center of the box. 5 choices. So now we want to create a user interface. We need to decide what to do. So first of all, input for color picker. Okay, let's start with 2 color pickers. Then we need random rainbow. Yeah, that's also a good choice. A random button, then a rainbow color button. Okay, then we need the number of colors. Yes, we do need that. Radial boxes, those are called radial boxes. You know why they are called radial boxes? Radial boxes are like in the old-fashioned radio in cars. You have a row of buttons. When you press one, the others pops up. So at any time you can only have one choice. So this is this is how radio button functions, and that is why they are called radio buttons. meaning that you can only pick one out of the many choices. So we need the radial boxes for the number of colors. Then we need a choice for uh, 5 choices of center radial boxes. Okay, so these are the interface we need to create. Let's start to do that. Okay, so first of all, color pickers. Now we go to we want to create color pickers. So how do you do that? That is the linear gradient. So let's open up DOM scripting tutorial. So over here you can see all the input boxes we need. So the first one, we need color pickers here. So that's how you create a color picker. And let's just copy the code. Copy and paste is the mastery of coding. Okay. Okay, so let's do the color pickers. So that needs to go up here. Here the JavaScript part needs to go here, and so the color picker one type color value. So the first value is red, green, blue. Okay, so you got a color picker, and this display we don't need. Okay, and now we need to so color picker 1, this we don't need. So we have a color picker, so let's do that here. Color picker, select this item. So let me show you in browser. You see we got a color picker there, and we need a space. So color picker, this allows us to pick a color that's working. And now we need to create a JavaScript to get the value of the color. So first of all, you need to grab the element, the HTML element. Then the value will just be, this is very simple. This is actually just the value. So update color picker value. Actually, we don't need that. Well, update is a function we will need to work on later, so we don't need that. But anyway, we got a color picker. We need a second one. So color picker. We don't need a label actually. So color picker 1 and color picker 2. Red, green. Let's see, green. So this should be green, and color picker 2. So we got 2 colors to choose from. That's good. And now in JavaScript we need to grab them. That's good. Now we got a color picker. What else we need? Random color button. Okay, we'll do that later. And rainbow button, we'll do that later. Because I'm running, I think we kind of slow. Let's try to speed it up. So we're just going to create the application first, the simplest one. Then we add more features. So number of colors, radial boxes, let's not worry about that now. 5 choices of center radial. Let's not worry about that now. Let's just get one simple app finished. So let's just have 2 colors. So radial box, we have 2 colors. Now let's just make that work. Generate a CSS code for the 2 colors. So the next step is our program logic, JavaScript. So how are we gonna do? The goal is once you have 2 colors, you need to generate a string of particular string syntax that contains these 2 colors. So the string we want is basically this. Copy that. So the string step 2. So step 3, JavaScript code, get user input values, then generate the CSS gradient string, code string, show in browser. Okay, that's what we need. So now we got the so we need to generate the string. So the string is gonna look like something like that. But we need more than just generating a string because you can see the linear gradient. You can see it actually shows an example of of your choices. So you also need to show the code example. So let's go back to the HTML file. We need a place that shows the results. So let's give a div box. Let's say display. Okay, this is a display region, and we need to also pick that up. This is the display element, okay, where we want to display the result. Okay, then in this div box and let's see. Okay, then display. What else? So display. We need to generate a CSS code string. That's right. So let's do that. So let's go back to our page. Let's show it. Okay, that looks like that. Then we need to right now we need to generate the string. So let's just write a code to generate the string. So result string equals to now in JavaScript 2015 you have this template string, which is very useful when you want a string with embedded values, variable values. So here you will need it will be color 2. Okay, for example, here will be color 1, and okay, that is the result string. So let's console log. Let's just print it. Let's see what happens. Okay, so go back to the browser, start up the JavaScript console. Very useful when you are coding JavaScript. So refresh the page. No, okay, error. Color 1 is not defined. The errors above, those are from Google trackers and others. When you are loading a local file, for example, I'm loading a local file. Those Google trackers are ignored. That's why you are getting those errors. So we don't have to worry about that. Because on my HTML page, I have, if you go to the top, you can see, the bunch of Google ads and Google trackers, those are ignored. So go back to the code. So let's so right now we have error. Color one is not defined. We need to define. Okay. Um, Actually, we don't need to. Let's not say color one. Let's just say color picker. Okay, let's say color one. Okay, color picker one value. Okay, constant color one equals to color picker one value, and same thing for color picker two. Okay, and so right, so that should work. Refresh the browser. Good, it's working. It's printed out. So you see, it prints this string. This is the string we want. Now the next step is that we need to show it. Display the radial CSS we just generated. So what you need to do is this display box. Let's show the code here. So you see this display box class we don't need. Okay, so let's read of the class. So this display box, we need to add style, CSS style. So we're gonna do style dot background equals to result string. Okay, that should do it. Let's refresh the browser. No, and no error. Okay. Why is that? Oh yeah, because wait, style background result string, that should work. Radial gradient, yeah. Color one, color two, yeah. Wait, we don't. We need to print it. So if you have any comments, questions, post it. Okay, let me know. So we are. So what's going on now? So let's go look at the browser. So we got the string correct, but it is not showing the div box. It's not showing the div box. Div box here. Let's refresh. Okay, the div box is certainly there, but it is not getting the style, CSS style. Why is that? Get element by ID display box. I don't know why is that, but let's do something simple. Let's say color equals to red. Let's see if it's actually okay. So obviously we got the div box, but for some reason the result string is not so what's the syntax seems correct, so why is it not working? Let's try this. Let's try this. So instead of using generated code, let's use let's just use the normal string. Let's see, that should work. Refresh. That's working. Now that is working. So something is wrong with our generated code, but that couldn't be. Let's try it again. Gradient. Oh, they need to be string, I guess. What the? So I don't have an example using the RGB hex. So I'm guessing what needs to be done is that I don't think so. Let's try it again. Refresh. Okay, it's not working. It's not working because radial gradient. So it should work though, but let's remove those string quotes. So let's look at the linear gradient. So why is the okay? So you don't need oh yeah, you need a pound sign, but we do have the pound sign here. Uh, let's look at radial gradient. Let's look at this CSS code here. Something is wrong, and we don't know. I don't know why. Let's see. Test. Okay, I'm still going. So what? Why? What's going on? Anyone know? Say something, guys. So we have. So the problem. So this is a result string. The result string, we are printing it out here, and in the browser we can see the result string. So the result string says radial gradient. Yeah, it's correct. FF0000, 6 digits of hexadecimal. That is correct. So apparently the result string seems correct. But the result string is correct here. But when you add it to style background, it does not have any effect. You see, because if we refresh it, it does not have any effect. Now, if we copy that, and if we manually add it to here, what would happen? That works. So if you add it manually, it works. But why is it not working in browser then? I mean, why is it not working when we use JavaScript to generate the background value? Okay, I don't know. Now this is T. Why is it not working? Jeez. So let's comment that out, and let's also remove that. So we go back to this. Oh, wait, what? It works now. What? That's impossible. Why is that? It works. So what is, oh, I see why. Because I added a semicolon there. That should still work though. That's very strange, man. That's a bug, my friends. That's okay, I see. So yeah, so you see the semicolon is used in CSS to separate different um, properties. But however, we cannot add a semicolon here. We cannot add a semicolon here at the end because we are specifying a single property background. It's a single property. It's not a bunch of properties. So when you have a single property and you add a semicolon, that would be wrong. So let's refresh what's going on. Okay, we understand what's going on. We refactor, clean up the code. Then we refresh here. It's correct. Now you see this is too narrow. We want to make it nice box. So to do that, we add a style at the top of this page. So we go to the top here. There's already some styles. You can see those styles are used for the other parts of the page, but we need a new one, which we will add here. So this will be div. Div. Display. Display. We want to create a height. So height will be, let's say, width and height. Okay, so okay, so let's do that. Let's make it 2 lines. Width and height 400. Okay, let's just say 400. No, it's incorrect because it's an ID. It's not class. That's good. That's what we want. Now let's try if this works. Let's change color. Let's change to blue. It's not changed. Why? Because we don't have events, obviously. So let's go back to the JavaScript code. Open it. We need to add event listeners so that when the input changes, the thing updates. Event listeners. So remove that. So we add event listeners to the color picker elements. That's right. Color picker elements dot add event listeners. That's right. So any input event, we want to call a function, and this function, let's call it function update. Okay. Now we need to write the function update. So the goal of the function update is to fill this div box with the proper CSS change, which is the string we used here. So we don't need this anymore. Yeah, so okay, so let's write a function. So let's constant arrow function. Okay, and we have a function this is a function body, and the function name will be f update. Okay, f stands for function, and the function takes one argument. Actually, we don't need any argument. The argument, when you have a event handler, the argument is supposed to be a event, but we are not going to need that because we work directly with these elements we already have picked up by element by ID. So this function update will generate the string, CSS string, and attach it to the div box. Okay, and the string is this, or you already generated, and we attach it to the div box. So that's it. So that's it. That's it. Let's refresh. Okay, something seems wrong here. Oh yeah, it's blank because you need to call the update when you run the JavaScript so that it actually fills the the colors already there. So refresh. That's good. Excellent. Now the second color by default is green. I don't like green. Okay, so let's change it. Close the JavaScript file. Go back here. Let's make it white. Okay, back to this. Oh yeah, white is FF, 6 Fs. Okay, yeah, let's try that. So we got the colors. Why don't we add another color? Okay, let's add another color. Color picker 3, and now let's do green. Okay. Okay, now let's open the JavaScript file. We got a new color picker 3. Okay, and this should be moved into here. So color picker 3. Okay, and okay, refresh. Excellent. Excellent. So let's try to change. Let's change this to dark blue. Okay, and wait, close. It's not updated. Why? Oh, you forgot to add the event. You need to, you see, we haven't finished updating the event, so we need to add event for all the color pickers. So 2, 3. Okay, run. Now let's try to change it. Blue. Yay. Red. Green. Yellow. Excellent. Close it. Okay, so what that is, essentially we have done our job. Essentially we have a interactive application of CSS radial gradient generator. Oh yeah, we forgot to show the code. So what is the code for this? People who come to this page, they need the code, after they play with it. So we need to generate the code. The generate the code is easy. So first of all, we can just print it. So you can see the code in the console logs. So this is the code, but actually it would be better if we put the string into in the browser, not in the console log. So let's do that. That's easy. So we have to do is to the display div box text content property will be that. Okay, refresh. That is correct. You see, you got the code here. That is Excellent. Let's make it larger, okay? And we need to make it larger. So go to the HTML page, go to the top. Let's add some more properties. Switch to CSS mod. Then let's add font size. Font size 2REM. Refresh. Excellent. Now there's a problem. Let me show you what is the problem. Let's suppose I change this color to something dark. Oh, this is beautiful. This one is beautiful. Okay. Now there's a problem. You see, if you pick a color that's very dark, then your text becomes invisible. You see. So how do you solve that problem? We can solve that problem by adding a text shadow. So let's go back to CSS. Let's open a new window. Let's go to text shadow. This is how you solve the problem. You add a shadow. So one use of this text shadow is that copy it. Is that the text can be shown in any background color, and it will still be legible, visible. So do I have people watching now? 3 people. Say something, guys. Say something. So we're adding a text shadow. Yeah. So x offset. Let's say 2. Let's say 3. Okay, 3 pixel. Okay. Y offset 3 pixel. Blur. Let's say blur 5 pixels. And color. Let's say white. Okay. Now let's see if we solved the problem. Refresh. Now let's pick black, and let's pick this black. Excellent. Now you can. Now we have solved the problem. Now the blur is a bit too big, so let's reduce the blur so it doesn't. It becomes more. Yeah, that's good. That's what we want. So we are done. We can consider it. This is done today. But there's more. This is right now. So we have like a prototype up. There's more details. Remember, now the center of the radius can be at the corner. So we need to create a user interface. Let user change that. So let's do that. That's very easy. So how long I've been talking? 48 minutes. Great, we are on time. So let's do maybe 10 more minutes to make this complete. So linear gradient, radial gradient. Yeah, let's add. So 4 possible corners. So first of all, we need to find out what's the syntax. So the syntax is you just add the circle at left top. Okay, if you want it to be center, then you don't have to add anything. But if you want to be the corner, you have to say circle or ellipse at left top or right bottom. Okay, let's do that. Let's complete this. So first of all, we need to add a user interface widget. So center. So what we need is radial boxes. We need to pick one thing at a time. Radial boxes. So let's see, color picker, radial button. That's what we want. Let's copy the code. So you say here, you say center. center, you have several choices. Center, let's remove that. Okay, so you have type center. No, wait. Type radial. Name center. Value, you don't care. Okay, so center. So you have several choices. Center, top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right. Okay, the value, we don't care. So actually the value is, let's just type it out then. Okay, so center position. Okay, go back to browser and refresh. Refresh. Excellent. We have these choices: top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right. Five choices. Now let's add a break. So okay, we need to add more element. Shape. So shape, you have choices of circle. Okay, then you have a choice of ellipse. Okay, show in browser. You need a break. So yeah, so shape, circle, or ellipse. That's the user interface. Excellent. Now let's code the JavaScript. Open the JavaScript file. At the top, first of all, select the element you want. Actually, in this case, in the case of radial box, the way you select them is a little bit different because the radial boxes, you want to select, the chosen one, not, so the checked, let's see, hold on. You don't, the property checked means, the current selected items. So by default, you want the center to be checked. You should only have one of them checked. Same thing with the circle, it is, okay? Actually, there's too close together, so we need, okay, that's better. And what's the result? The result, delete that. Result, we don't need that. Yeah. So we got that, and now we need to get the values. So how do you get the values of a radial box? We can tell by looking at the code here. Radial boxes. So you see we have the code already there for you. Copy the and paste. The mastery of coding. So let's see. Let's put the code here and let's see. Let's look up. So show box. Okay. So show box we don't need. Um, let's go back to HTML. So the radial box, you need to get the value of the radial box. So the way you do that is, this is how you do it. These two lines. So the way you do that is selected value equals to document query selector. That allows you to pick an element of particular pattern. So the pattern will be input tag check. So that's radial box is an input tag. Then you need the name equals to pets. The name should be equals to center position. So that so far we selected every radial box of the center position name. Then you say checked. Then that is the item that's being selected. So that's what we want. So then you just say dot value that gives you the value. So this will be center position. Let's do this. Actually, let's do this here. Okay, let's do this like this. So center position is a list of items. It's just it doesn't make sense to put it here because in order to get the selected item, this code needs to be dynamic. Because every time people select it, so this code needs to be part of the update function. Update function here. Therefore, it cannot be on top like that there. So let's put it back. So anyway, let's so update, paste the code here, then position value, center position value is equals to that center position value. And once you have the value, then you need to ignore that part for now. Okay, I'm gonna show you what that code is later. But first of all, we need to get the value. Once we got the value, we need to put into the gradient box code here. So over here, there's a comma, then we here center position value. That's what we want. Okay, now this is not going to work because the value needs to be one of it needs to be circle at left top. Okay, so the value needs to be we can do this like this. Okay, so let's comment out the shape. Well, actually, I'm trying to do this one item at a time, but in this case, we need to do both of them at the same time. I cannot just finish this because in order to have center at the corner, you need also to specify the circle or ellipse parameter, I think. So let me just let me just quickly finish this up if I can. Circle at right bottom, at circle at center, I think. So this is getting tedious. So circle center position value. let's just say 1 2 3 4. Okay, 0 1 2 3 4. Okay, let's go back to JavaScript. So center position, if um, let's just code this up quickly like that. Oh wait. Okay, bottom left, bottom right. Okay, so we got a position, then we got position. This is gonna try refresh the browser. It's going to be an error because let's so center position value, get the value, then let position be 0 1 2 3 4, top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right. So then we say circle at position. So what is wrong with that? I don't see what's wrong with that. So radial circle at undefined, that is the problem, undefined. So it's not getting a value. So the center position value, that is not getting it. Zero, 1 2 3. Oh, those are strings. Wait, stupid JavaScript. These are strings, not numbers. And I'm using the triple equal, which does not convert type. It does not do auto casting. That is why. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so we got top left. Okay, now we click top bottom. We click one of these. It's not changing because we don't have event for those radio boxes. Now let's add the radio boxes event, which is this code. So array from so we have document query select or input input center position. Okay, so we select all the radio boxes for center position. Then the result is a collect HTML collection or uh, uh, nodes, not list. That's technicalities of DOM. But anyway, so usually they are not array type. So you don't have array methods, but we can convert to array by using array from. So now we got an array. Then for each element, we apply this function, which is add a event listener x dot add event listener input. So yeah, so we add event to call the function update. Now it should work. Refresh. Yay, now it works. Okay. Now the circle and ellipse, that's simple. It should be done in 1 minute. Okay, so let's go back to the HTML code. Shape, circle or ellipse. Okay, shape, circle, ellipse. That's right. So we go back, open the file and open the JavaScript file, and now we need to. So in the update function, we add center. Okay, we add center code. Not center, shape code. So shape will equals to select. Let's show the HTML file shape. So name shape, select all the radial boxes with the name shape, and select the one that's checked. Okay, and let's see the syntax here. Circle add, ellipse add. Okay, so we select the shape, and then we get value. Okay, so shape value. Okay, and now we add this shape value into here. Evaluate it dynamically. So we got the shape value, either circle or ellipse. So that should be it. Refresh. Change. Wait. Top right. Circle. Ellipse. Okay, ellipse is not working because ellipse add. What is the value? Radial gradient. ELLIPSE at ELLIPSE. That's spelled correctly. Ellipse at. Oh, the reason it's not showing ellipse because we have a square box. That is why. I think that is why. So let's, if we modify the height to be, let's say 200, then pick ellipse. Oh, we need to add event for the ellipse. So let's add an event for the ellipse. Okay, refresh. Ellipse. It works. So okay, that should be it today for people watching. Okay, thank you for watching. That we want to write this application and it's working correctly. That we achieved our goal. Let's try some fun colors. Let's see if we can get something sharp. Interesting. Oh, okay. So next thing we need to do, we need to add more colors, and we need to add a random color option. Uh, a random option. So should we do that? So if you guys like me to see me to continue coding this to add a random color option and also number of colors, let me know. Type in the box. But otherwise, we are done. Today we got, this is what we want, which is good. Okay, thank you for watching. Have a good day. Bye.